Everyone, it's Shamila Ramjawan coming to you from the beautiful Cambodia. And it's now evening here. It's just after 7 p.m. And I have a special guest from the US on the show tonight. And it's his morning. So we're going to welcome Simba
Yeah,
Maswela.
that's it. Thank you so much, Shamila. I really appreciate that. Like I said, it is 8 a.m. here in Columbus, Ohio, and I had to get out because of this show. But I'm not
Wow.
blaming you for it because I am an early riser anyways.
That is amazing. Well, thank you for coming on the show and, for joining me so early in the morning. With the
Thank
time
you.
differences, we cannot really keep up. I'm on the other side of the world and you on the other side of the world.
Other side of the
So,
world.
but at
Yeah,
least we're connecting, that's important.
absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate I appreciate you.
Awesome. So we're going to have a very interesting discussion. And, as I say, the Red Corner Show, it's just stories to share. There's no preparation whatsoever. So we're just going to talk. We talk from the heart. We talk from experience. And we want to share our stories and our journeys. And you have quite an interesting journey. But before we go right into it, please tell the audience a little bit about Simba. Who is Simba?
Oh, I could take the whole day to tell you who Simba is. I'm telling you.
Give it
But
short.
yeah, I'll give you the shortest version of it. But yeah, thank you so much once again. My name is Simba, last name Maswela. I was born in Zimbabwe. That is right in the southern part of Africa. And I migrated to the US back in 2000. Um, and at that time when I came to the US, really my idea, I didn't want to live here in the US. I said, let me go to school and then come back to Zimbabwe. But the economy in Zimbabwe tanked, so there was really no reason for me to go back. So fast forward, this is almost my 23rd year here in the United States.
Oh my goodness, that's a long time.
It is a long time. So I lived in Pennsylvania, I lived in Delaware, I lived in New Jersey a little bit, and now I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Um, but one thing is, when I came to Columbus, Ohio, I was able to start this nonprofit called Draw for Life because I was able to meet really amazing people, which is something that was on my heart all the time, to help my people, to help those that don't have clean water to drink.
Yes. So tell me, how did that start? Because I know you went back after 11 years. Was it 11 years? You went back to Zimbabwe and you saw what the situation was like. Take us through that journey.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. See, when I lived in Zimbabwe, half of my life I live in the rural areas, right? This is because my mom had a farm. My dad and my mom had a farm. And so I lived there. So life was great, So now when when I went to the city, it was okay, things were okay. But I came to the States and then, I went back to Zimbabwe after 10 years, right? After 10 years. And then, I went back to the rural areas, the life that I used to live when I was younger. And it wasn't normal anymore. It wasn't normal because the water that we used to drink, which I thought it was water, it was just okay. It was not something that I wanted my family to drink, anything that I wanted my mom to drink, right? And so I know one day my mom said, okay, it's time for us to go and grab some water. And we had to get some cows and then we have to put a scotch cart on and so we had to walk 7 miles to go and grab water in the big barrels, right? And
Mhm.
then when we brought the water, there was one other barrel at home where they would pour the water in the sand. In this barrel, there was sand. So the water would come through and be filtered, and that's the water they would drink. But it was still dirty. So then, I decided to take some pictures. I decided to take some videos because at that point I said, everyone should have access to clean water.
Yes.
And this was not something that I was going to be quiet about. I wanted to talk about it because I had met someone here, and she had asked me, what can I do to help? And so when I came back with all the videos, with all the, the pictures, I said, please help me. I need to help my people. And that was my only idea. I need to help my people so they can have clean water to drink. And she said, listen, let's start on it. Let me help you to make sure that everyone has clean water, right? So therefore, that was the origin of Drill for Life. We drilled one clean water well in my village, and we realized that was not enough. We needed to give more people more clean water to drink because more people were coming. It was almost like everyone is coming to, to fetch water from our clean water well. Now some of them are walking 10 miles to our clean water well. So then we were able to identify some of the areas where we needed to put some more clean water wells. And the requests started coming in. There were so many requests that were coming in that even now we cannot handle because there are too many of them.
Wow, awesome. But just take me through it. What is it? How do you do it? You drill? Is it spring water? Is it natural water? How does it work?
That's a very good question there, Shamila. So I want to call it, I don't know if you have ever lived in the mountains or if you have ever lived in the rural areas. We can call it a spring water because this is water that is coming all the way from either 40 meters down in the ground or 75 meters down in the ground. So here's what happens. So whenever we find a site that we need to drill a clean water well, right? We send what we call a surveyor, someone who goes to survey the land to figure out where can we get more clean water, right? More harvest of the clean water. So when they go there, they either do the traditional way to look for the water, or they do the the more modern way, which they use the machines. When they found the water, then we send a driller. The driller goes to drill where the surveyor has given us the go-ahead to. So water can be found under either at 40 meters, it could be found at 45, it could be found at 75, or at the deepest well we did, we found water at 90 meters, right?
Oh my gosh.
90 meters deep. So now, what does that mean? That means that the water table is very, very uncertain, right? We don't know where the water table is. So on the way to get that vein of the water, it doesn't mean they are not getting water or they are not finding water along the way, but that water is not sustainable. There is a way that they can say, listen, we found a vein, and on this vein, the water is never going to dry. Even in the driest season, the water is still going to be there.
Wow, that's awesome. So it's quite a task. So I'm sure you have a lot of partners, business partners, strategic partners on board.
I do. We have a board membership of 8 really wonderful people, very experienced people that have a heart, to help. When we started this, we had we had a shift because we had a few members that were helping, but some of the members realized that what, maybe this is not for me. But when we moved on, we started seeing people that were really in it for the long haul, right? And so our board members are amazing. They are all from different backgrounds, right? They're all from, and one of our board members, one of our really co-founders as well, it was actually Miss Zimbabwe back in 1995, actually.
Wow, awesome.
Yes. So once they found the water, right, now we have to go and install a pump, and on this pump, this is where they go and really bring the water out, and it's amazing how you see those faces for our villagers,
I
and
can
so our hope,
imagine.
yeah, so our hope is to continue to provide this human right for everyone, so that everyone can have access, especially our children, because sanitation is one of the most important things,
Yes.
right? We want, especially our girls, we want them to be healthy. We want to make sure that they are able to clean themselves up, either going to school, coming back to school from school, and everything like that.
I so agree with you. So how does it work with you being in the US and you drilling in Zimbabwe? Do you go often to Zimbabwe? How do you coordinate all of that?
That's a wonderful question. So we do have honestly a person on the ground. He is almost our projects manager. Whenever we have raised our funds here in the US, and we discuss with the contractor, we discuss with the surveyor, he is the one who makes sure that all the projects are actually being done well. Now, I do happen to go to Zimbabwe. Usually, it's once every year. Sometimes, I mean, not only to look at these projects, but I still have family in Zimbabwe.
Mhm.
I am second last out of 12 kids. Okay,
Family.
it's a big family. So I have nieces, nephews, I have brothers, I have sisters, and all of that. So I still have to go and be able to see and meet family. But one of the important things that we have really, decided to do, this project is not only about Zimbabwe, because the requests we are now getting is we are getting so many requests from Kenya, from South Africa, from from Nigeria, from everywhere, from Ghana and Zambia. We're getting a lot of these requests. So we have decided that at the moment, if we could focus on the sub-Saharan African countries, right, that's going to help not only Zimbabweans, but help those other people. The statistic about sub-Saharan Africa is so crazy, right? It's so crazy. Over 400 million people in the sub-Saharan Africa, over 400, they don't have access to clean water.
That is really sad.
That is very sad. And think about water being a human right. Think about water being a life, right? And think about water, we are making sure that everyone has access to clean water. And think about the diseases, the typhoid, the cholera, right? And the stagnant water, stagnant dirty water that causes mosquitoes, and mosquitoes causing malaria, right? All of that is coming from the fact that someone doesn't have access to clean water to drink.
Yes. Wow. Amazing. Wow, I am so intrigued with what you're telling me right now, because I think, it's not only in Africa that needs clean water.
Yeah.
Even in Cambodia, in Cambodia, it's recommended that we don't drink the tap water because it's not clean enough. So everybody drinks bottled water here. So,
Wow.
yes, so look at Cambodia as well, add to your list.
Wow. Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. Listen, as a Drew for Life, as a board, we have we have a lot of goals that we want to work on. We have a lot of we come up with some strategic plans. However, we are limited at what we can do, right? Because we don't have the right resources.
Yes.
So that is one of the reasons why we are trying to reach out to some corporate companies, some individual donors. We try by all means to send the word out so that people can be able to say, look, we are going to support you, because our board members, none of them gets paid. Money comes in, money goes out. We don't have expenses that we could say, this is the expenses for administration of the organization. We don't have that, right? A penny comes in, a penny goes out. So, anybody, either you are a corporate donor, whether you are an individual donor, if you do decide to help us, you are reaching out to the people that you may never meet in life, but you are helping to save a life. I had diseases myself when I was growing up. I had bilharzia myself when I was growing up. I suffered from cholera myself and that was because we didn't have clean water. But we didn't realize that it was actually clean water that was causing it, right?
At the time, you didn't know, yes.
We never know. Over 115 people die every hour.
Every hour? Oh my goodness, that's a lot of people.
Just in sub-Saharan Africa, right? 115 every hour because of waterborne diseases.
Yes.
That's it.
Gosh.
That's a lot.
Those are large numbers to lose people, yes. But,
exactly.
But Simba, just going back to your roots in Zimbabwe, do you see a difference now in the last 10 years or so?
I see a difference in the sense that my country, I love my country, and I always want to be there because they have wonderful food. When you go to Zimbabwe and you eat the food, it's always like home. We have rich soils. We have so much that we could really be proud of. However, things are not well. Right? Things are not well. People are suffering. And unfortunately, some of it is being caused because of politics, right? There's so much that I could say. And I hope that things get better because no one needs to suffer because of other people's, mistakes and all of that. So, and not really going into politics, but people are struggling. Things have not been well since the 2000s, going all the way to 2023. Things have not been well. Our people in my country are struggling. And when you go there, when you see these people, especially when you're coming from a different angle of life, and you see these people, there's nothing to smile about.
Yes.
There's nothing to smile about.
We just see that in almost every country. The rich get richer and the poor suffer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So every time I go, I personally, I struggle with that because, I get to go to some of the areas where I have to meet my family members, and what I see, I wish I could, if there was a way for me to say, you know what, I'm going to leave my job, I'm going to leave everything I'm doing, I'm going to focus on Drill for Life. That would be my goal. That would be something I would want to do, right? Just focusing on helping the people that are underprivileged. Right? Not only with water, but there's so many other things that we could help those people with that and you can't help everybody. I mean, that's a fact. You can't help everybody.
You can't. It's impossible.
It's very, very impossible. But the few that you can hold their hand on, the few that you can actually help, that's the only thing that I can do. You have been helping people, so many of them. Right? So if you and I and other few people, right, and you that is listening, if you can help 1 or 2 or 5, then all of us are going to be a team to just lift the people that don't have hope anymore.
Absolutely, and make a difference and impact lives. That's important. That's what we want to do.
Absolutely.
Wow. So you just mentioned that you have a job, right? Do you have a full-time job?
I have a full-time job.
Okay, tell me. I didn't know that. Tell me about it.
So I work for this huge hospitality company. I've always wanted to be in customer service industry. I love being around people. I'm naturally an extrovert. I like to talk to people. If you put me in the plane and for 45 minutes, when I sit with someone, if I sit with you, by the time we get there, we are friends. We
Are you one of those people that just is so annoying on the airplane?
I'm not. I read people. Okay, I can read you. If you like to have conversations, we're gonna have conversation.
Earphones on.
So yeah, I've always wanted to be in the customer service industry. So coming to this country, you know, I was able to start working for a hotel. And when I started working for this hotel, I enjoyed it so much, just from front desk to housekeeping and helping a lot of guests. And, you know, that was my passion. And I started moving up. And so now I work for this big corporate hospitality company that owns more than 6,000 hotels, and we have 18 brands. Yeah, we have 18 brands, you know, and perfectly, if you ever want to travel, please, you know, reach out to a company called IHG, you know, IH as in Hector, G as in George.com, and look at, we have hotels around the world, right? We have hotels around the world, and you know, reach out to them. So my position is I train hotel operators on how to run a hotel, right? How to actually manage people, right? How to, you know, make sure that they are compliant with the programs that we are giving out to those hotels. So because 90% of our hotels are franchised out. So we have hotels that are being run by individuals. So it's important for us to maintain those standards. So it's important that we have programs that those hotels really follow up to make sure that our guests have consistency across the board. Whether you are in Americas, whether you're in China, whether you're in Europe, right? We want to make sure we are consistent. So that's the area that I'm in, to make sure we are training our hotel operators to run a good hotel that we continue to get our guests back to the same hotel.
Wow. So you also do training of the staff on customer service, etc.?
Correct. So yeah, that's exactly, yeah. We train hotel employees on how to talk to guests, what to do when they make a mistake. Hey, we all make mistakes. There is no perfect hotel, right? How to talk to guests. Yeah, how to talk to guests, and you know, not to fear putting yourself in front of guests. We talk about that. We train general managers on our programs. We train general managers on how to lead their staff, or how to lead their employees. We train general managers, front office managers on how to groom their teams, right? So they can be able to stay in this industry, because our industry struggles a lot when it comes to, when it comes to keeping our employees, because there's so much competition in different industries, IT, health, you know, and hospitality. So we want, when you join our industry, we want you to stay, right? So it's important for us to make sure that we put this program.
Yes,
absolutely.
Staff retention is important, because you're upskilling these people, and you want them to stay with the organization.
We want them to stay. Absolutely.
Yes, I agree with you. So if you're looking for a guest trainer, I'm here. I can come over.
There you go.
Ever so ready to hop on a plane and just go to another country.
Yes. And honestly, if you ever travel, try one of our hotels, and you know, you definitely are going to enjoy, because again, we push for consistency, and our employees are always amazing, regardless of where you are or what part of the world you are.
I'm going to definitely check it out. Are you on booking.com with your hotels?
Yes, we are.
Okay,
yes,
I use them quite a lot. We
market
them for free, right?
Yeah, you know, and you know,
Booking.com, I want a free accommodation somewhere.
And our rewards program is one of the best in the industry.
Oh, wow.
You know, yeah. So you continue getting these points anytime you stay, especially if you book with us. Okay, so you're not going through Travelocity, you're not going through travel.com, booking.com. You're booking straight with us. You actually boost yourself when it comes to points.
Okay, because I know on booking.com I'm on genius level now. So
I
get the 15 and 20% discounts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yes. There you go.
It helps a lot, yeah. So but just on talking about training and discussions and speaking and presenting, a little birdie told me that you are hopping over to South Africa.
I am so excited. All right. I am so excited about going to South Africa and talk about Drill for Life. I'm very, very excited. Because one thing that is always been my hope from the time that we started Drill for Life is to create awareness, okay? You may not agree, you may not support the people that don't have access to clean water, but what I want you to know is that there are some people that don't have access to the water that you are taking for granted. You wake up and you leave your sink running, you leave your the tap on your sink running, you have 3-hour showers. I don't know, I mean 3 hours exaggerating, but yeah, a 1 hour shower, right? That's because you do have access to it. And maybe that's because you're taking it for granted. But there's someone that has never had access to that clean water, right? Because I remember myself that I did not drink clean water until a certain age. I did not. The water that I used to drink was the water that we would exchange with animals, right? This is the same dam, this is the same pond, this is the same river. This is the way the animals drink. You just have to go and find a certain place where you feel is clean, but it is not clean because there is so much in it, right? You know, and somebody pooped on the top of that river, and it's still, you know, coming down through that river. So creating awareness is one of the things that we continue to do, you know, with Drill for Life. So I'm coming to South Africa, and I'm going to be speaking. And I'm excited because I want to talk to these kids, and so that they can grow up understanding that they can also make a difference in their life, because who they are, because no one really can choose where they are born. No one can choose where they are born. True. No one chooses which family they are born with. No one can choose that, right? But we all are born in our different settings. And some of us have a privilege of being born in a family that has access to everything. But those children are born in a different setting where they don't have access to everything. So why don't we look back? Why don't we look aside and say, let me help somebody, right? And that's my hope, to make sure that they are inspired. That's the word, right? They are inspired to do better and to help someone, so we can make this planet, this world, a better place to live.
Absolutely. I so agree with you. You know, it's all about collaboration and people joining forces and making a difference in the world, and helping people. And yes, for sure, you know, a lot of people take water for granted. A lot of people have not experienced the rural areas where the impoverished people live. So they don't know what the living standards are out there. But Simba, did you boil the water before drinking, or you just drank the water?
Just drank the water.
But you had no option, right? You had to do it because you were thirsty and you needed to drink something.
Because you needed to drink. So, and again, not to go back there, but one of the things that we used to do is on my way to the primary school that I used to go, we would take the jugs of water, right, or the whatever the size of tin that you would get from home. On your way to school, you would take that jug of water and then you leave it at the river, which you are crossing to go to school. On your way back from school, you're gonna get the water from the river and you carry it home. That's the water that your family is drinking. That's the water that you're gonna hopefully take a shower, you know, not take a shower, take a bath, right? That's the water you're gonna use to clean yourself. So I wasn't, not only me, but some of these children, we you know, that are in the rural areas, they cannot bath themselves. They cannot clean themselves up every day. They cannot do it because they don't have that access. Whether it's dirty or not dirty, they don't have the water. The water is not there because somebody has to walk several miles to go and get the water. And so sometimes there's no luxury for you to take a bath with any water, right? So you can go 5 days without bathing.
Oh my gosh.
You can take 5 days. It's okay. I lived it, right? I lived it. You can go 5 days without, without bathing, because if you want to bathe, that's fine. But you remember, you have to walk and get the water that you're using to bathe. Or you go there and you bath on the river and then bring water for the next day, or for your mom, or for the elderly.
Mm. It's yes, I can say it's okay for a boy, but not for a girl.
Exactly right.
Yes,
Right.
that is very sad. And
Right.
what is really sad is that we still have this in this day and age. We still have this, and that is, it's a global problem.
It is a global problem. Absolutely.
Yes,
And this is where you and I, and and whoever is listening, this is where we need to jump in, because what was should not be what is today, right? We can change it by the way that we want to handle it, by the way that we want to send the message, by the way that we don't want to just leave this, being complacent. We want to make sure we change the mindset of our people, so they understand that this global warming is even making it worse, right? But we can do our part to make sure that everybody just have that clean water to drink. Like I said, water is life, water is a human right, and clean water is important for all.
absolutely. And that's exactly how I feel about menstrual cups as well. Creating a
Exactly.
sustainable solution for girls just to keep them in school and, giving them something that they actually don't have at the moment. A lot of them can't afford sanitary pads. So they use leaves, feathers, pages from their books,
Oh yeah.
dirty rags, foam. There's a list of things that they use, some things we don't even
Absolutely.
know. Um, but yeah, it's all about making a difference in people's lives. And,
Yeah.
that's a blessing you'll get, the best blessing you'll ever get.
Now I want you to imagine, and you are a lady, you were a girl at some point, right? And I want you to imagine you are going to school and you did not have access to water, but you are on your cycle, right? And so there is no way you have access to some of those women, pairs that you are supposed to have. And so what are you going to do? It means that it's possible that you are probably not going to be able to go to school because you don't have the resource that you need for you to be comfortable in a setting where you have boys, right? And you
Yes.
don't want to mess up yourself. So those are things that are very important. When we talk about water, we mean it's not only for drinking. Water there's a lot of things water can do. Now, some of the wells that we're doing, it's almost like you have created a new mall for the people. What do we mean by that? Because this is where people are hanging out now. People are creating gardens with vegetables. People are creating gardens, great onions, and some people that grow tobacco, they're putting their seeds down, right? So there's so much that they can do where you have put the well, because he has access to so many things.
Mhm.
So as an organization, Draw for Life, we encourage them to create that space where animals are coming to drink, where kids are coming to enjoy and actually drink clean water. So we are planning to put even toilets or latrines, if you will, latrines everywhere that we have built. We want to put some latrines there, because what we know is wherever there's an activity, people need to go to the bathroom. But
Yes.
in this case, right, in this case, there is no bathrooms, right? So
Yes.
they have to use the bush. So we want to continue to ask for these resources where they can be able to have access to clean water, access to sanitary things that they need to have. We want to put some sinks, right? Sinks where they can do their wash their clothes. So that is all in the plan. But we can't get there without you, right? We can't get there without the support of everyone. We have our coordinator on the ground. He doesn't have a vehicle. So he has to rent a vehicle for him to continue to support the wells that we already have done, even the new projects that we have in plan. So we need a lot of support.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, hopefully, at some point, people are going to join forces and make a difference, instead of hoarding that money that they have, share it with the rest of the world. So
Absolutely.
I wish you the best. You're doing such great work, and I can hear the passion in your voice. So I'm looking forward to meeting you in South Africa. I'm so excited. I'm counting down now. It's 11 weeks.
Yes, yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. We're
I
looking forward
cannot
to it.
wait. It's going to be fabulous, and I have so many international people coming over or going over. I'm on the other side of the world as well. But it's going to be amazing. It's going to be such an awesome conference, and I can't wait to host all of you.
I can't wait. Thank you so much, Shamila. I can't wait to meet you in person. I can't wait to meet a lot of people that are making a difference in the world, and I just can't wait to be around the great people. So thank you so much.
Yes, we're going to have so much of fun, the South African style.
Yes,
So if
absolutely.
you have anybody that wants to join as well from the US, that wants to come over to South Africa, bring them along, it's going to be an amazing 3 days. So we're so looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Once again, thank you so much. Our website is Drill for Life, DRILL number 4 life .com. So drillforlife.com.
Is it .com or .org? Because I see it on your
We do
screen.
it. Yeah, we also have the .com domain. So
Okay.
either .com or .org, it takes you to the same domain.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. And your last words, such a budding, what did I call you? Do I call you a social entrepreneur?
You can call me that.
It's it's a
So
it's a mixed bundle like me. I have a
yes,
job.
yes,
I have a
yes, yes.
job, and I'm a social entrepreneur. So what do you call
Um,
us?
so- I
Multitask.
know that's a good question. My last few words are like this. I've been blessed to have access to the wonderful people that have groomed me and made me a better person. I also had access to people that also see the same vision that that I have. They see the same vision that I want to move on to. And so we all have access to someone that can help us be better people. Now, there is so many different ways that we can help people, so many different ways. It's
Mhm.
not only about water. It's not only about, maybe menstrual pads or anything like that, right? There's a lot that we could talk about when we can help the people that I need. There's homelessness, right? It's also another issue that most countries are dealing with.
Yes.
My hope and my message to someone that's listening is do something for somebody, right? Do something for someone. Because if you do something for someone, that person is also going to be inspired to do something for someone. We all can do better for each other. We all can look aside and look forward and look back and figure out who we can be able to give a hand. Let's inspire each other. As a Drew for Life, we have a goal. Our goal is at least having 100 clean water wells in the sub-Saharan Africa. 100 clean water wells. But we can't do it without the support of the people that see the need. You see the need, you come and help us, and we are going to deliver. That's the message I have. Thank you so much.
Awesome message. What a nice way to end the show. Simba Maswela, formerly from Zimbabwe, living in the US, but doing amazing work in Africa. Thank you for coming on the show and sharing your journey with us. And I look forward to meeting you soon. To the audience, if you would like to be on the show, please drop me an email, redcornershow@gmail.com, and you too could be sharing your journey with us. Take care. Bye all.
Bye. Thank you so much.